Hello, it's David S. Martin, founder of Martin Image News on the people's side. Martin Image News always been on the people's side, from covering the pipeline recently in Buckingham County and elsewhere. The fight, my fight, fighting Dominions, HEP, NPP on the pipeline. This is a commentary on the proposed small nuclear reactors in the western part of Virginia to generate electricity for the people of Virginia. What type of environmental impact a small nuclear power plant in Virginia would have? None of these small power plants have been built in Virginia. What would the environmental cost, impact of people living in this area? How dangerous is this? What type of hospital would be designated in the area as a receiving hospital for nuclear disasters because of the nuclear power plant disasters? How much training would a hospital personnel have dealing with a nuclear disaster from a radiation exposure? People work there and elsewhere in the area. What type of fire departments, emergency service in that area? Is it volunteer strictly? How much training they will have dealing with a nuclear disaster? How many times a year training for a nuclear disaster at a power plant? Your major disasters, your worst scenario can happen, your worst nightmare happen, a nuclear meltdown in a power plant. Small nuclear power plants are not built as well as aging nuclear power stations in Virginia. We have North Anna 1 and 2 and Surrey 1 and 2. They are beyond the design limits. Both of them are getting proposed to have license, extend the license to 40 years. Surrey 1 and 2 has been extended to 1958, beyond the design limit. Originally, the nuclear power plants in Virginia were designed for 40 years. That's it. It would be extended the licensing to beyond the design period. What kind of disaster would happen in aging nuclear power plants in Surrey in 1 and 2 and North Anna 1 and 2? In 2011, we had an incident in North Anna 1 and 2. The design limit took it off limits. An earthquake with unknown fault line was detected and caused all this earthquake activity. Not in Virginia, over Washington, D.C., damage to Washington environment and Washington National Cathedral. How safe were nuclear power plants in rural Virginia replacing coal power plants? How safe it will be for the people in that area? How dangerous are we going? For what, generate electricity? Why don't we stop going to central power station? Go to beyond central power, to a power station on site for everybody, for houses, buildings, and hospitals. Not existing on outdated central power plants like we have in Richmond, North Anna, and elsewhere. Thank you for listening and watching. Martin Image News, thank you, bye.